Not all fermented foods are created equal. While most of the world starts the day with yogurt, Japan begins with something different, a quiet, milky drink that carries centuries of healing inside each drop. This drink isn't served for taste. It's served for balance. Made from fermented rice, it's called Amazake. And for generations, it has been a secret of Japanese elders who age without chronic pain or inflammation. In Okinawa and Kyoto, people over 80 still enjoy this drink in the morning, sometimes before breakfast, sometimes before prayer. They say it warms the stomach and calms the heart. Modern science now confirms what tradition already knew. The enzymes and natural probiotics in fermented rice reduce inflammation, improve digestion, and even support energy metabolism without any dairy, sugar, or chemicals. It's the kind of healing that doesn't shout. It works slowly, invisibly, from the inside out. Most people think of probiotics as pills or yogurt cups. But the Japanese understand something deeper. True gut health isn't about adding more. It's about listening to your body and feeding it what it can actually absorb. For many elders, this simple drink became part of their daily rhythm. They don't think of it as medicine. They think of it as life. And perhaps that's the real difference. While the West looks for fast results, Japan embraces slow healing. Over the next few minutes, you'll discover how fermented rice became one of Japan's most trusted allies against inflammation, and how you can easily adapt it to your own mornings after 60. Because sometimes what keeps you strong isn't found in a supplement. It's in a tradition that has quietly survived for over 1,000 years. In Japan, fermentation isn't a trend. It's a philosophy. It's a quiet dialogue between food, nature, and time. Centuries ago, before refrigeration existed, the Japanese discovered that letting rice, soybeans, and vegetables breathe in wooden barrels did more than preserve them. It transformed them. The process gave rise to foods that were not only safe to store, but deeply nourishing. Fermentation, in their view, wasn't decay. It was life continuing in another form. This slow art became part of the nation's DNA. During the Edo period, families prepared miso and pickles each season as naturally as tending their garden or writing haiku. It wasn't chemistry, it was rhythm. The same patience used to grow rice was used to let it rest, bubble, and bloom. In Okinawa, centenarians still speak of fermentation as something sacred. They say it keeps the spirit alive inside the food. To them, fermentation means cooperation, not control, a harmony between humans and microbes that mirrors harmony in life itself. Modern scientists later confirmed what these elders never had to measure. Fermented foods create enzymes that ease digestion, regulate blood sugar, and feed the gut's microbiome, a community of living organisms that quietly maintains health from within. And when that inner ecosystem is in balance, inflammation naturally fades. But in Japan, science never replaced tradition. It simply gave it new words. Instead of probiotics or bacteria, elders still speak of warm foods that wake the stomach and cool foods that calm the body. This wisdom echoes a truth the modern world often forgets. Healing is not a fight. It's a balance restored. That's why the Japanese rarely consume their fermented foods in isolation. A small spoon of miso in broth, a slice of umeboshi on rice, a sip of amazake before breakfast. Tiny, consistent rituals, never overwhelming, always in rhythm. Western culture tends to rush the body, cleanse fast, supplement more, expect instant results. But the Japanese approach is slower and quieter, rooted in trust, not in products, but in process. Each bowl, each cup, is a small act of faith in the body's ability to renew itself. Fermentation, after all, mirrors life. It begins invisible, uncertain, and imperfect. Yet with time, it transforms what's raw into something resilient. This is the wisdom passed from grandmother to granddaughter, from wooden barrels to modern kitchens. And it's why, even today, in the most advanced nation on earth, you can still find an old woman gently stirring rice at dawn. Not for profit, not for fame, but simply because it keeps her body alive and her heart at peace. After 60, the body changes quietly. Digestion slows, muscles lose tone, and inflammation begins to whisper through the joints. But in Japan, aging isn't seen as decline. It's seen as a shift that must be accompanied, not resisted. Inside the gut, trillions of tiny organisms keep balance. They digest food, create energy, and send signals to the brain and immune system. When this balance weakens, inflammation rises, not just in the stomach, but everywhere, in the knees, the skin, even the mind. That's where fermented foods become allies. Unlike supplements or pills, natural ferments like Amazake and miso bring live enzymes, amino acids, and beneficial microbes that the body can easily absorb. They don't overwhelm. They restore harmony gently. Recent studies from Kyoto University show that the enzymes in fermented rice increase the presence of Lactobacillus sakei, a probiotic linked to lower gut inflammation and better immunity in seniors. Other research from Hokkaido confirmed that koji rice extracts improve glucose metabolism, reducing fatigue and stiffness after meals. But what stands out most isn't just the science, it's how simply it fits into daily life. Japanese elders don't treat these drinks as medicine. They take a small sip every morning, trusting time more than dosage. Because healing after 60 isn't about doing more, it's about doing less, but doing it every day. And sometimes the smallest ritual becomes the most powerful medicine. In Japan, fermented foods are not a health trend. They're a quiet rhythm of life. Each morning, millions begin the day not with coffee, but with warmth. A bowl of miso soup, a sip of amazake, a small plate of pickled vegetables. In Tokyo, office workers line up at small shops to drink amazake on cold mornings. In Kyoto, elders prepare it at home with care, using recipes passed down for generations. They say it wakes the stomach gently, never shocking the body awake. What's remarkable is how effortless it feels. No calorie counting, no supplements, no powders. Just a warm cup of something alive. Fermented rice that continues to breathe, even as it nourishes. For those outside Japan, these habits may seem distant, but they're surprisingly easy to adapt. A teaspoon of miso in warm water before breakfast. A spoon of fermented rice pudding after dinner. Even a simple pickle made with shio-koji can awaken digestion and calm inflammation. One elderly man from Okinawa, aged 94, told researchers, "I never stop eating living food. It keeps me living too." That's the essence of the Japanese way, gentle repetition instead of effort. Because longevity doesn't grow from extremes. It grows from small, consistent acts that feed both the body and the spirit, one quiet morning at a time. Healing in Japan rarely announces itself. It doesn't come in bursts or breakthroughs. It arrives like the seasons, slowly and without noise. Many elders say they began drinking amazake simply because it felt kind to their stomach. They didn't think about probiotics or enzymes. They just felt better, lighter, calmer, more awake. Over months, their skin softened, their joints loosened, and the bloating they once accepted as normal disappeared. This is the invisible effect of fermented rice. It doesn't force the body to change. It invites it to restore balance. Every sip delivers living cultures that reduce inflammation quietly, without demanding control or effort. It's the Japanese way, gentle persistence over instant transformation. One 86-year-old woman from Kyoto told a researcher, "I don't measure. I just drink it every morning, like brushing my teeth. The body remembers." That memory, built through small, consistent acts, becomes the foundation of long life. No diets, no rules, only the discipline of kindness toward oneself. And for anyone outside Japan, starting is easier than it seems. You don't need to brew your own rice ferment or find rare ingredients. A teaspoon of miso in warm water before breakfast. A spoon of Amazake from an Asian market, gently heated before bed. Even adding shiokoji to a vegetable dish can awaken the gut's natural rhythm. The secret is not the product, it's the consistency. Healing after 60 is not about doing more, but about doing one small thing every day. And when that thing is alive, like fermented rice, it keeps you alive too. If you'd like to explore more simple ways to bring these Japanese anti-inflammatory foods into your own kitchen, I've gathered a few gentle recipes and habits in a small guide linked below, inspired by the same elders who made this lifestyle a quiet art of longevity. Because longevity doesn't come from what we chase. It comes from what we repeat, softly, patiently, one cup at a time. Fermentation is more than preservation. It's trust in time. Each grain, each bubble of life reminds us that healing doesn't rush. It grows quietly, like rice beneath the soil, unseen but constant. In Japan, the elders who live the longest rarely talk about health. They talk about rhythm, the warmth of soup, the stillness before breakfast, the sound of wind through paper doors. They let their bodies age with grace because they never stopped feeding life back into life. Maybe that's the quiet lesson of Amazake and all fermented foods. The patience to wait, the wisdom to repeat, and the humility to let small things change us. You don't need perfection to age well. You need consistency, curiosity, and peace with your own pace. In Japan, aging is not feared. It's respected. And perhaps, somewhere between a cup of warm rice and a calm morning, you'll find your own miracle leaf.